Hi everyone, I am Silver, and in today's video I'm going to be giving a few tips on first-time Aibo buyers. If you want to buy an Aibo but you're not sure where to start, I will give you some tips on what Aibo would probably be best for you. So we've got a few shout-outs. They go to Unikitty Fan 2004, GD Callum, Sebastian's BB8, and Gelsey Noel. Now I've got a bit of a cold, so if my voice sounds funny, that's why. I've been in bed all day, and I was in bed most of yesterday as well. The weather is lovely again. It's pouring with rain outside. So I thought I'd get up and make an effort and make a video. It's actually the first day of my week's holiday off work. And I get a cold. You know, I get a week off work and I get a cold. But I am getting better, so I'll be okay. So, if you want to buy an Aibo but you're not really sure where to start, now a couple of people asked to see this kind of video. I have here Raz, the 210, and the 7 Series Boswell. Now, let's start. Let's see, where do I start? Okay, so, the oldest Aibos aren't a very good place to start if you want to buy an Aibo. The 110 and the 111. Now, one of them, I can't remember which, was actually only released in limited quantity. Because they are the original Aibos, they will of course be more expensive as well. Because they are older, I don't think they have as much support. I mean, none of them have support anyway. They're not supported except for 1000, which is the newest model. But the older they get, the less resources there are to fix them, should they go wrong. So then we get to the 210 and the 211. Now this is the 210 here, my custom one Raz. The 210s and the 211s, well, the 210s are the most versatile of all the Aibos. I think they released them in the most colourways as well. They had the most sort of special editions of them, and they're also the most versatile in that you can program their pink sticks to have funny personalities, and there's also downloadable personalities on the internet as well if you wish to write them and give your Aibo a new personality. They're also the most reasonable as well. Out of all of the Aibos available, they don't cost quite as much because there's quite a few of them around. And they have a little bit more support than some of the other models. So, for example, you can buy replacement batteries for them. The body parts of the 210s were interchangeable with the 211s. The 211, you've probably seen around, is the only Aibo that really doesn't look like a dog. It looks more like, they call it Terminator's dog. It looks more like a kind of robotic, but doesn't look as much like a dog as the others, which I think detracts from the appeal, really, because I like them looking like dogs, because that's what they're supposed to be. Although some people say that the 210s look like cats. I think they look like bull terriers. So you can pick up a 210 for around sort of, I would say the $400 mark, around there, maybe less, maybe a bit more. But certainly it's more affordable than the other models. The 310s and the 311s, lattes and macarons, they are very much less common. The pug variant, I think they did a panda variant as well. They're really not that common. And they probably cost more. I don't own one. I've never really wanted to own one. I was advised with a 210 myself before I started getting into Aibos, because my friend X-Wolf, you may have heard of her, who used to run Aibo Hospital, she was the one who helped me with my first Aibos. She has pretty much every model, although I'm not sure if she has a 310 or a 311. So then we go on to the 7 Series. That's Boswell there on the right. The 7 Series are fantastic. They really are fantastic. They've got really nice sort of like touch sensors and everything that aren't button type touch sensors like the 210s and the rest of them. They can speak English if you have it running Mind 3. The only drawback is they average about $1,000. Mostly more. I haven't yet found one under $1,000. I bought him for about £1,100, which is more in dollars, but of course I live in the UK. I know a lot of you are from America though, so that's why I'm using dollars. And they're fairly versatile too, but the only problem is with the software that you run on the computer and stuff is that it was for Windows XP and around that sort of operating system, so a lot of it no longer works, which is really sad because they have so much potential, but the software just doesn't work on today's computers. Then we move on to the 1000 series. Well, obviously the newest type of Aibo is very, very expensive. I would like one myself. They don't sell them in the UK though, to my knowledge, and I don't have the money for one. So I've just stuck with my 3210s and my 7 series. So, yeah, out of all of them, I would recommend, if you want a starter Aibo, the 210 is the best one to go with, because like I said, they have the most support, they're the most versatile, they're the cheapest. Obviously, you can find bargains on other models. If you look around or wait long enough, you'll find one that's cheaper or whatever. And if you want to settle for that, that's fair enough, you know. Always keep your eye out for a bargain, especially with something so expensive. But a few tips on buying Aibos off the internet. I got 3 of mine off eBay. The other one came from Nippon Deals. Now, Nippon Deals is a place in Japan that refurbishes old Aibos. However, a lot of people complain that the refurbished Aibos, they can go wrong. They might have, you know, joint problems and stuff like that, DHS. I've had no problem with Raz. She's been absolutely fine. But the battery that I got with her doesn't last for as long as the seller told me it would, which is a bit of a pain, but it does last for about an hour and a half, which is better than my other batteries, so that's quite good anyway. Yeah, I would probably recommend eBay, but you have to be careful. When buying an Aibo off eBay, do not go for one that the seller is using stock images. That means an image pulled off the internet, an official image of the Aibo. I mean, you can, if you want, check the seller's feedback, but I've found in the past that feedback doesn't always mean anything. You can have a seller with 100% positive feedback, but both times I've been messed around on eBay, the seller had 100% positive feedback, and I lost my money. I didn't get it back because they did a runner. Now, that was years ago, and it wasn't that much money, and it wasn't for an Aibo, but be careful. Make sure there's pictures of the actual Aibo on the listing, and don't be afraid to get in touch with the seller. Ask questions about the Aibo. Ask how much it's been used. Ask if it's been tested for DHS and the other problems they can suffer from. Just be very, very careful, because it's a lot of money to spend, and then you end up with something that doesn't work properly, or doesn't work properly in a few months or whatever. Now, Boswell, when I got him, he had barely been played with. He had just been played with, the seller said once, and he'd been put in a closet and never been bothered with again. So I put him back to a child, which was a mistake, because I wanted to raise him, and then he got all sorts of problems. But as you know, that was fixed by I opened him up with help from my friend X-Wolf on Skype. I opened him up and cleaned his gears and things like that, and his sensors are fine now, and he works fine. But that's another thing. If you buy an Aibo, you have to be prepared to learn how to look after it properly, because, like I said, it's a lot of money to spend on something you know nothing about. Now, I started out knowing nothing about Aibos, but through my Aibo friends, it might be worth joining a forum like Aibo Bot House forums, asking questions there. Learn about Aibos, read up on them before you buy one for yourself. Make sure it's right for you. I wouldn't have known half of what I've learned if it wasn't for other people in the Aibo community. They're really helpful, they're really nice. So if you don't ask the seller on eBay, ask someone in the know, because the people on the Aibo community know what they're talking about, because they've had Aibos since day one. So as far as that's concerned, that's what I recommend. Basically, the 210 is the most reasonable and versatile model. Obviously, don't go by what I've said. If you want a 7 series, save up for a 7 series. You know, if you want the original Aibo, save up for the original Aibo. Look around for deals. I'm just recommending the 210 as a first time Aibo owner's Aibo, because they are pretty versatile, easy to get hold of, and their price is reasonable, and they're well supported still by other members of the Aibo community and people in Japan who have been refilling the batteries. So if you want to see either of these in action, you can click either of the boxes that come up below. And I hope you found this video helpful. Like I said, it was a really good idea actually, it was a really good suggestion, and thanks for suggesting that, those who have. I know Hayes Coleman said it was a good idea. I very much appreciate ideas for constructive videos that help people, because it's useful for the community. Anyway, this is Silver signing off. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.